My family kept inviting my ex of 7 years to family events and holidays. Last week, I finally exploded. The first time I saw him slipping into the seat across from me at a Thanksgiving dinner, I choked on my cranberry sauce. We had broken up a year before. What was David doing at my parents' house? On Thanksgiving Day, no less. David and I had dated seriously for 7 years. That's right. 7 Christmases, 7 birthdays, 7 years packed full of what I thought was a solid foundation for a long lasting future. Everyone thought we were going to get married, even me. We were high school sweethearts and each other's firsts for a lot of things. Then, one Tuesday morning in November, he'd sat me down and calmly, like it was just any other mundane conversation, said, "Leah, I need more than you. I'm moving out today." Just like that. Like he was ordering a drink at Starbucks. Like he was discussing which ice cream cone he wanted. I was a wreck. I had trouble eating. I had trouble sleeping. My concentration was shot and I kept bursting into spontaneous tears everywhere. There was radio silence for the first 2 weeks, and then, out of the blue, at 2 a.m., I got a text from him that said, "I miss you. Can we talk?" I didn't respond, not even sure what to say to that. Every 2 a.m. for the next 3 days, there was a similar message from David, and then there was radio silence again for 2 weeks. After that, the calls started. He'd sob about his dead goldfish or just breathe down the phone without saying anything, then ghost me for days after. I couldn't handle the mental anguish and I jumped on the idea of therapy when one of my friends suggested it. My therapist helped me to see what a merry-go-round David had me on. "He's breadcrumbing you into a breakdown," she said. "I suggest you change your number, fast." And I did that. But then David started showing up at Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and get this, my parents invited him over. "He's as good as family, Leah," my mom said, busy rearranging daisies in a vase while I stood tensely in her sunlit kitchen. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Are you kidding me?" I hissed, my nails biting crescents into my palm. "Mom, he broke up with me. And it's been 2 years. How is he like family?" We were preparing for my dad's 60th birthday cookout. The air smelled like meat and there was laughter outside. It had been so perfect until it wasn't. My eye landed on David out in the yard, roughhousing with my cousins like he belonged. "Leah, come on," my mom said, like I was just trying to be difficult. "No, Mom," I cut her off. "He's as good as family? Are you kidding me? I am family. Do you remember what he put me through? I had panic attacks in grocery stores, Mom. I had to change my number after he turned into a creeper. How is inviting him over all the time okay?" My mom gave me that long-suffering look with a sigh. Like I just wasn't being quick enough on the uptake. "You know his parents are in Norway, honey. He's an only child. He's got no one else." She was enunciating like I was too slow to grasp what she was telling me. "It's been 2 years, Leah. We honestly thought you'd be past this." "Wow," I reeled. "Past this? Past this?" He'd had 7 years of my life where promises were made and plans were established, and then he'd thrown it all away so casually. And then he'd started his cycle of ghosting and harassment. Without therapy, I definitely would have lost my mind. And she thought I should just be past this? I felt so betrayed. The straw that broke the camel's back came last week. "He's coming over for Easter weekend, dear," she said. "What?" I sputtered. "Why?" "His flight to Oslo got cancelled, poor thing," she said with a straight face. "Mom, no," I said forcefully. "Why do we have to be the ones to house him like he's a stray?" "Leah, be kind," my mom sighed. "Are you kidding me, Mom? What about me?" I ran from the room and locked myself in the basement, my head on my knees as I rocked myself in a corner trying to keep from spiraling. My therapist came to mind, the session where she told me that it was okay, encouraged even, to choose myself, to prioritize my comfort over other people's. My sister shot me a message asking if I was okay. I wasn't. I took a while to compose myself, and then I went upstairs to talk to my mom again. Only, instead of my mom, I bumped into David at the top of the stairs. "Hey," he said sheepishly. "Hey," I replied. "How's work?" he asked. "Fine," I said, wondering if we were seriously doing this. "You look good," he said. Old me would have preened at that simple observation. Old me would have been completely enamored with the idea that he was here, in my parents' home, noticing things about me. But new me recognized that I'd moved back in with my parents because being alone made me spiral, descending into a dark depression where I felt expendable as he'd made me feel. And new me was definitely over this. "What are you doing, David?" I asked. He at least had the good sense to look contrite. "Listen, I never apologized for how I handled things," he said. "For what I said to you. You are enough, Leah, and I was way out of line to suggest otherwise. I was just scared," I interjected. "Cowardly?" I continued. "Selfish? Feel free to chime in whenever I land on the right one." "I tried to fix it," David said defensively, "but you wouldn't let me. You changed, Leah, and you changed your number. You just erased me," he accused. I laughed then, a real deep belly laugh. "Are you listening to yourself, David? You don't get to ingratiate yourself with my parents and then start rewriting history. You told me you needed more than me, insinuated that I wasn't enough. And then you blew hot and cold, ghosting me, then being all over me like a stalker. Calling just to breathe down the phone. You're not the victim here, David." I was shouting now. The whole house had gone quiet. "Leah," my mom's voice shook. "Stop being so dramatic. David is a guest." Everything in me stilled. My mind suddenly had a clarity that I hadn't had before. My parents, they were choosing a side. And the side that they'd landed on wasn't mine. After everything I'd gone through, none of them were trying to see things from my perspective. Even my sister was silent, her and Dad not saying anything at all, which to me spoke volumes. "Right," I said slowly. "I see how it is." I turned on my heel and went upstairs to pack my things. I came back down and said to my parents and sister, "I'm leaving now. You've clearly all decided that David should be here, so I won't be. You've repeatedly shown that you can't respect my feelings and you can't respect my boundaries." They all looked at me in stunned silence. I walked out of the door and drove to the nearest hotel. I started looking at listings for apartments, ignoring the frantic calls and texts that were constantly coming through. I needed some time to cool down and wash the betrayal out of my mouth. It's been a week now, and I've settled into my new apartment. I haven't tried to reach out yet. It's all feeling too fresh right now. I'm prioritizing me for the first time in all of this, and it feels good. Update. I'd like to say that my family saw the error of their ways immediately, but that would make me a liar. I stopped going to all family gatherings and I answered texts with 1 or 2 word answers. I couldn't bring myself to answer their calls. It hurt too much. It took 6 months for any real apology to come from my parents. They'd kept inviting David for 3 more months after I stormed out of the house, after which my sister convinced them of how wrong and awkward the whole situation was. I'm not sure if they finally gave in because they missed me too much or finally understood my pain, but I'm not looking at it too closely. I'm just glad to have my family back. I'm getting ready to go for Sunday brunch now at my parents' house, and David is definitely not invited. It will take time to get our relationship back to where it was, but I'll take the win.